Good morning and welcome to the Center for Conscious Living. I'm Rev Carol Lawson, and I am so happy to see you or to know that you're here and joining us as we just allow the field that is created as we each come together in such love. You know that there are practitioners that are praying for us. Today, we have Cassandra Butler, who is in South Carolina, and Lynn Scheider, who is local here in Marlton, who's taking over on the spur of the moment, Reverend Marlene Volper, who's our pastoral support, and our first practitioner, who is Kathy Miller. I'm going to ask her to go ahead and do our opening invocation.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day to be together in community. If you would please join me, and if you're comfortable, close your eyes, settle into your space, this beautiful presence. Oh, and feel the power and the presence of the universe. Feel God's love flowing through your being, through all your cells. Just feel that beautiful life. Know the perfection and the beauty of this creative force. Feel the magnificence of the eternal spirit that is omnipresence and so spectacular. We give praise and thanks to the one. God, I am enthralled and surrounded in the love and the grandeur that is you. You are first cause. You are all. Feel that. I give thanks and praise for the one and for each individual member of our community, for all sentient beings, no exceptions. I'm so grateful for Reverend Dr. Carol Lawson, founding minister and spiritual director of our community. I'm so grateful to Lew Doty and know that he will be joining us shortly, that all things will just work out to our absolute perfection for this beautiful service. I'm so blessed for all the practitioners and ministers who are joining us today, who hold the high watch for us today and every day, as we build this beautiful field of love. Such gratitude, such beauty, and so grateful for this congregation. How blessed are we to be together in this format. Even though we are not physically present, we are able to come together and feel the beautiful energy of God. Such gratitude, such wonderful, absolutely beautiful Sangha. And in closing, I say, God is good, and God is good all of the time. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. We were scheduled to have a beautiful song that Lew Doty has written, Nothing But Halos. So we'll all know that that's what we have, but Lew is having trouble getting on Zoom for some reason this morning. So I'm going to go right to back to you, Kathy, and ask you to do our inspirational reading.
Perfection. So today's reading is from 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. And I'm reading from page 310, and it's from October 19th. Today I take Today I take constructive action. It is only as I let go of the lesser that I can take hold of the greater. Only as I drop confusion that I can entertain peace. Only as I transcend doubt and fear that I can be lifted up to the hilltops of the inner life. I identify myself with the greatness of spirit and breathe in its almighty power. I allow my consciousness to rise to a broader and fuller realization of that divine presence that is always delivering itself to me. Believing that the divine mind is ever present, that divine intelligence is ever available, I open my consciousness to its guidance. I keep my mind steadfast and loyal to the thought that I am governed by this divine intelligence. I feel that I am impelled to make right decisions, that I am compelled to act upon these decisions intelligently, knowing that the power is within me, cannot desert me. Through this quiet contemplation of omni-action of spirit, I look quietly and calmly upon every false condition, seeing through it to the other side of the invisible reality that molds, conditions, and recreates all of my affairs after a divine pattern. With the penetrating spiritual vision, I now dissipate the obstruction, remove the obstacle, dissolve the wrong condition. Every thought of fear or limitation is removed from my consciousness. Today, I take constructive action, which leads me to health, happiness, success, and love. And if you would please join me in repeating the affirmation that can be found in the chat box, that would be awesome. I was born to make manifest the glory of God within me. As I let my light shine, God is expressed in new and glorious ways in our world. I am in the flow of life, and I follow my highest dreams and let the magnificence of God radiate through my life.
Thank you, Kathy. We will now, Lew is trying to come in on his phone, and we'll see how all that works.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, we'll give this a shot. We will let God be God. As this perfect little cloud makes its way across the sky, it's the perfect day to live, it's the perfect day to die. As this gentle northern breeze blows the clouds across the sky, so my perfect spirit shows the way across my life. Nothing but halos, nothing but halos surround me. There's perfect spirit back of everything I see. Nothing but halos, nothing but halos do I find. And as my spirit grows, nothing but halos. As I sit in meditation underneath this lovely tree, this lovely tree I dream, is it dreaming of me? I am entwined within its branches as it reaches toward the sun. As my spirit takes me skyward in my journey toward the one. Nothing but halos, nothing but halos surround me. There's perfect spirit back of everything I see. Nothing but halos, nothing but halos do I find. And as my spirit grows, nothing but halos. As this perfect little cloud makes its way across the sky, it's the perfect day to live, it's the perfect day to die.
Thank you. We heard you. We made it. Hallelujah. Praise God. Thank you, Lew, very much. So, well, we're in a time of great shifts. You may have noticed this process of transformation that we're all going through. June, I don't know whether it was just privately to me, sent a message saying there's been a lot of issues on Zoom. Maybe we should send Zoom some appreciation and love too. So we will, because it's another chat that I got from somebody that hasn't been on here for a while, how close they feel to me and to all of us just through this process. The whole point, I think, that we're learning is that this divinity, this love, this peace, these halos are everywhere, all the time. And this process of transformation is all of us unfolding to that awareness. I have Paul Zelig was a little video that I saw from his work, a book that he's channeling that's supposed to come out next summer, where he's talking about the old doesn't support us in claiming the new. The idea that when we think about the future, we are always using our ideas and our things that we've known from the past to bring it forward. And that these requirements of change are so robust now that they really can't be ignored anymore. The times that we stand in as a civilization, he said, is born in the reaction of past thoughts, all this fear-based, separation-based, them, those, the other guys, all these agreements that are contrary to the truth of our oneness. And these agreements are saying must now be revealed, that we've been looking at everything through this faulty lens. That's the understanding as we go from this passage of the old to the new. And then the requirements for change, it's this whole idea is how do we lift our vibration? Consciousness is moving into levels beyond the kind of accumulated information that we've accrued up till this point. He had a wonderful analogy of it's like a balloon. Get in a hot air balloon, which I did once, and you just kind of rise slowly, and the higher and higher you go, things look different. Your perspective is one place, and then it's wider and wider and different. And that it's like a balloon ride. We're just going higher to see things differently. This beautiful claim or attunement that's given in the Zelig work. Behold, I make all things new. Transcend the old and witness it from a higher perspective. The divinity that we each are is right here, is expressing, is flowing through us. Behold, I make all things new. So that our soul is here, is fine. It doesn't have any existence apart from love, where joy resides, where peace resides, kind of unshakably centered in this open heart. And that's, I think, how we can transcend the confusion of change, confusion being a soft word often, but be anchored in an open heart. As I share the lessons that I've been learning this last week with us, I saw a quote in the journal that I keep that was Anne Blanchard. I don't know whether it's from someplace else, but Anne said, the only question that I need for the rest of my life, does this come from an open heart? And I thought it was so beautiful and such a wonderful lesson for us all. Does it come from an open heart? If anything is really bringing suffering, it's a program, it's a pattern of reaction. It's not the truth, it's our mind playing out this program. Oh, why did I say that? Oh, I wish I'd said this. Oh, I wish I didn't say that. Oh, what did they say that? What do they mean by all? You know, you're aware of that mind going on with all that talk, the patterns of reactions to things. Truth is always the same. Love is here. The divinity is here. So Martha Creek, who is a brilliant and wonderful woman who is actually coming to speak next Sunday with us, has a series of cards. So I picked a card last night for us, and it says, I don't know if you can see it, but it says, who would I be if I were willing? Who would I be if I were willing? And it's a fascinating question. If I were willing, why, I'd be letting go of resistance. Now I'm sure that there's plenty to learn from resistance. You know, try it if you like. Go ahead, paddle upstream if you like. It's not that I have never done that, but resistance kind of makes us crazy. Or Byron Katie would says something like, well, if you're resisting what's already right in front of you, perhaps you are crazy and tired. Paddling downstream is much easier. I've been reading the Surrender Experiment with, it's a Michael Singer book. He's the author of The Untethered Soul. Good thing I've been reading it, by the way. We're talking about letting go, not listening to personal preferences or all those voices in the mind. I don't want to do this. I do want to do it, and see what life has to offer. Because life always has a better idea. So I'd read this book before, but was prompted to read it again recently. And I've probably had a few other hints about this surrender business. My computer crashed a few weeks ago. All my wonderful quotes, my references are gone, at least for now. What would I be like if I were willing? So let that be okay too. Be happy, be at peace. Maybe I could receive instead of just plan a future from only the past that I know. I have a quote I did find from A Course of Love. It says, the unknown is benevolent. You can't anticipate what is anticipated for you. You could be receiving constant help if you would but let it come. You are not alone. So I wrote in the newsletter, I told you that I fell last Sunday afternoon. I fell flat on my face on the concrete walkway. It's messy, bloody, probably I was in shock. I remember one thought, which was, thank God this didn't happen before service. It wasn't really pretty. And I was so grateful. Just that one thought, I was so grateful. And that gratitude flowed through everything. It was truly amazing. Who would I be if I were willing to just be present to whatever is? Such an amazing lesson. We had Paul Hoyt, Reverend Paul Hoyt was there. We had ordered a new lamp, and things were broken on the lamp on the driveway, which is our walkway up to the front. So we ordered it to come before Halloween, so we'd have light for everybody. So it didn't come, but that was good. The universe fixed it anyway. Nobody came for Halloween either, so it was all right. But so Paul was there last Sunday afternoon to help put up the light, and was able to help get me up. You may or may not know, my husband had extensive surgery on his neck early in September, has been in braces and things, and unable to pick up more than 20 pounds. Even half of me is quite a bit more than 20 pounds. So we needed the help, and it was there. The point is the deep gratitude that I feel as I look at, as the balloon rises a little higher and I see a deeper perspective, a broader perspective, how filled with gratitude I am. So that afternoon, Patricia Patricia DeMeo was coming over, and we were going to work in the yard and, unhook the hoses and take stuff in and whatever you do in a wonderful fall day to get kind of ready for winter. Well, it turns out, as I'm sitting in the kitchen with the blood stuff, Pat DeMeo is also a nurse practitioner, in fact. So when she texted that she was here, I said, come on in, we have something different. And there, Greg can't drive, Patricia could. She could help evaluate, advise, what should we do now? Incredible. So we go off to urgent care. While urgent care is telling me, no, I've got to go to emergency, you need a CAT scan, you need other things, and you've fallen on your head, face, well, everything. But while I'm sitting there receiving that information, my phone rings and it's Rick Moss. Rick Moss was calling because the password we put out that we'd given him last week for the recording wasn't working. And I said, well, I'm in urgent care going to ER, but we'll try and get you the code. By the way, it didn't work ever. I don't know why, but Marlene has moved that recording from last week to our YouTube page. So if you'd like to go over some of the exquisite healings and clearings, he calls them, that Rick did, it's there on our YouTube page. But again, the perfection of it, when I'm willing to just be present. So Rick called the next day and did a session with me that I'm sure helped me come to deeper terms with whatever's unfolding. Then I don't really know when. The first couple of days of the week were a little cloudy, but Bhante called. Bhante had called me, and I missed him 3 or 4 times during these past months. He is in this beautiful place outside of Prague in the Czech Republic. Lynn Scheider has been there with me, Felicia Karstens, Joanne Yakovitz, Carrie Christensen, number of people from here. It's a beautiful place, but kind of isolated in a tiny town outside of Prague. He's been there all since COVID hit, and basically alone. He said he's, cooking his own meals and cleaning and meditating. And he was able to share with me the results of all of this that's been happening to him and how he can see the energy in the trees and the leaves and the interconnectedness of all things and how beautiful it is. And he says, maybe I'm calling today to share some of that with you. And I said, absolutely. This is what's happened to me. And this is why I happen to be here and pick up the phone and be able to make this connection. I was so happy. And I was so filled with gratitude. I'm sure you can feel that. Somebody else called and said, they'd be happy to come over and support. I could, cry or yell or whatever I want, whatever. But none of that was needed because I've just been in gratitude. There were no bones broken. Support has been available when I needed. I Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even, I could certainly have won any Halloween contest for the grisliest face mask, but things are healing. I'm on the prayer list. Our practitioners are incredible. The healing is just in waves of coming. I was on one call Tuesday morning where I did warn them and came on. My face was much more swollen and all kinds of stuff all over. So somebody sent me arnica gel that arrived the next day so I could put that on for the bruising. I had a massage scheduled Friday with Lori Taylor, who I didn't know, but she did a lymph drainage thing all through my face. So a lot of the swelling went down. Everything just unfolding. It could have been a very different week without that support. And that, I think my point is that the support is always there for all of us, but we need to be willing. We need to be willing to ask, to be in non-resistance to whatever's happening. You remember, I think this is a Joel Goldsmith analogy about telling us about glass made from sand. And just like glass is made from sand, spirit, love, God, the divine, whatever source energy, whatever word you care to use, is within us. And it's not as a raisin is in cereal, but it's as sand is in glass. All of it. The sand, and I was shocked when I first learned this. I didn't know about glass. The sand is in and through all of the glass, and the glass gives the form to the sand. We live and move and have our being in God. God is just being us. This whole meaning of life is that we are in the process of becoming that which we already are. We're just, as we become more and more that space where this divine can unfold. In that place, it doesn't really much matter what happens. It's just the process of letting the divine shine through. And it's not so much, and this was kind of an insight from this week too, not so much that the individual wakes up to self, but this higher self, this oneness, this noumena, this divine shines through and embodies as the one in each of us. So the fall and this time of resting and trying to do work and having it be difficult has highlighted for me a message that has been coming up for a while, that it is time for me to step back and to rest. Last March, interestingly enough, as we were preparing for our annual meeting, and we're having an annual meeting today, I was getting ready to announce that I needed to begin to make plans to step down as senior minister, perhaps in the summer. And then when COVID hit, I was clearly guided to continue in this new Zoom process and format to provide the space and the consciousness where we could come together, uplift and support our community. And I've been able to schedule a number of wonderful speakers to be with us that if we were paying for plane tickets for people to come from all over, we wouldn't have been able to do. So to kind of continue this deepening process of celebrating the love that we are, being that field, and then sending it out to the world. And that's our contribution to the collective consciousness, a place that is the light, that does know that we are love, and centered in that calmness and that peace and that willingness, just a tiny little bit of willingness. I'm thinking of the radical forgiveness class, which is going on now, and that sheet, which is just a tiny little bit of willingness to allow the change. So now in this time of great change for all of us, I feel it's again time for me to step back, to let new energies flow through CCL and kind of await clarity on the next steps of God's plan for me. We are coming up this month on our 29th anniversary. Deeply honored to be of service in this beautiful space, and to all of you. CCL has been and continues to be this, I think, circle of transformation, of individuals dissolving the sense of separation from the divine, and then contributing that knowing to the collective. And I'm absolutely sure that CCL is in good hands because it is God's hands through each of you. I stumbled across a prayer. It's actually from Ernest Holmes this morning, which says, "Today I practice being my real self." So I invite all of you to consider what it would be like if you were willing to do this as well. Today, I practice being my real self. I do not deny others the same privilege, but seek to find in them the same miracle of life, the same wonder of being, the same delight in existence. Today, I realize that all the good there is, all the presence there is, all the power there is immediately available and immediately responsive to me. Today, I enter into the faith of believing, the joy of knowing, and the act of living, which proclaim the one power and the one presence in all things. I dwell in wholeness. I dwell in wholeness. And I have access to all that may illumine my mind, maintain my body, and rightly govern my affairs. My name is the Spirit of God in me, which gives me the use of a power that brings my thought into form. I now let my thought be of the wholeness of God and confidently accept its manifestation with thanksgiving. Today, I accept my partnership with the infinite around me and all things is one vast, all-enveloping love, forever emanating from the living God. This is the truth of each and of all of us. This is the truth of our Center for Conscious Living. And I am delighted that I can be here and know this with you. God bless you all. This is our, back in the day when we did this, well, we're still all together, but in the same space, was the time for our offering. I know that Reverend Marlene is probably putting up the blessing of our offering in the chat. And I think she's going to say this now.
So if you will all repeat with me. Oops, hang on. I had it.
I can do it if you like.
No, I got it. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing as I give, I do receive.
Thank you, Reverend Marlene. And Mr. Lew Doty, if you are here, I know the song that you picked long before you knew about my week. Would you like to sing it?
Yeah. The name of the song is Falling. So, two things. The first thing is I learned a great lesson this week from an interview with Frank Zappa, and I can see Reverend Carol's eyes rolling right now. But he says that we are all given an allotment of time, and we get to decorate it. I thought that was really cool. The second thing is this song is from a Rumi poem, and it's very short, and he says, birds make great sky circles. How do they do it? They fall, and in falling, they're given wings. Birds circling in the sky, floating in their freedom. How do they get so high? Letting go, they are falling. Letting go of everything. They're given wings and fly. circling in the air. I try to hold on to it, but I let go, and I am falling. Letting go, it scares me so. I can't let go and fly. I lived my life by some opinion, what others thought life should be. Then I realized my self-dominion. I'm from this higher ground, I am free. I live my life by some opinion, what others thought life should be. Then I realized my self-dominion, and from this higher ground I am free. Now circling in the air, I am falling into love, love and I are falling everywhere. And to you I am calling, take my hand and let things go. Then release my hand, now let it all go. And fly.
Thank you, Lew. Thank you very much. How beautiful. Thank you. Lovely. We have a blessing that we've offered to anybody that might be joining us for the first time, but now in this beautiful Zoom format with everybody, we offer it to one another. And so if you will raise your hands in blessing, we'll say, welcome to this Center for Conscious Living. We're a heart-centered spiritual community, and we open ourselves to you in love. We recognize the perfection of God within you. We celebrate the joyous being that you are. You are a radiant point of light, and we are blessed by your presence. Welcome home. And then we have, let me bring it up, what we call the Mastermind Covenant, just another word for divine, divinity, God, whatever word you use as a pointer to this allness. And I'll tell you the responses to this, which if you want to just close your eyes and we'll do this as a prayer. Knowing there is a power, wisdom, and intelligence greater than my own, and knowing it is responsive to my every thought, word, action, and feeling, say aloud, I acknowledge. Surrendering to the power of this mastermind consciousness and knowing I am guided and assisted past any limited perception to God's truth within, now say, I surrender. Knowing forgiveness is the key to change. I now forgive myself and others for all mistaken judgments, and I open the door to unconditional love by saying, I forgive. Realizing my life is a creation of my own thoughts, I now choose to fill my mind with thoughts that are positive, loving, and beautiful. And I allow my life to reflect that choice by saying, I choose. Holding this consciousness for the Center for Conscious Living, we now thank God for the continued prosperity of this spiritual community and for everyone. And for myself, I now go within to the silence of my own mind as I ask for my own specific requests, knowing the universe always says yes. Please repeat after me. I accept. With a thankful heart and knowing that all I have asked in the name of the mastermind is now given me, I say, thank you, God. And there's a covenant. I don't know that it's up. I'll just read it for us. The love of God unfolds me. The mind of God inspires me. The spirit of God enlightens me. The power of God encircles me. I am in God and all is well. For I'm enthusiastic, excited, expectant, and at peace. And we can say to everybody, I am grateful God has heard you. Terrific. Thank you. A few announcements that we have. The information, if you'd like to make a donation to the center, is in the chat. If you'd like to put yourself on the prayer list, I see one, somebody has asked for prayer from everybody. And also, if you just put your name and address in the chat, we'll put you on our mail list, or you can send a prayer request to CCL in Morristown at AOL.com. And you can be on our prayer list, which is phenomenal living example right here. If you're not getting the newsletter, be sure that you sign up for it. It'll tell you all these things. But I know we had our women's group met last night, and I just like Kathy to say a bit about that.
Thank you, Reverend Carol. It was a wonderful celebration last night. We did it on Zoom. A couple of people met around a bonfire, and we celebrated the Hindi holiday of Diwali, a festival of light. And it was a beautiful, beautiful gathering of women. And I want to just mention Debbie Kelly put that together for us. So this is something new. We reinstituted our Red Tent Women's Group, I guess about 3 years ago. And my beautiful co-facilitator, Renee Traley's, and I have been putting our minds together, and we've opened it to this community of women. And, you know, Debbie stepped up, and it was absolutely lovely. So we will be meeting again in December, either the first or second week of December, and look for your the exact date on the CCL bulletin. So thank you all.
So thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Renee. And thank you, Debbie Kelly. Wonderful. Happy Diwali, everybody. Festival of light, 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 light. The truth of all of us. See it in everybody. Paul Zellick says a lot, what you damn damns you back. So you've got to see the light in everybody. Just a hint in case you forgot that. And Lew has some helpful information about if you've, where is it now? I've missed it. If you update to Mac Big Sur, you have to uninstall Zoom and reinstall for it to work. So he went through that interesting thing this morning so that he could give all of us that information. I appreciate, Lew, you doing that for the community and the collective.
Welcome.
Please type in, somebody has asked Marlene how to do a prayer request. So please put it, CCL in Morristown, in the chat so that people will know where to put those prayer requests. Martha Creek is coming next week. She's extraordinary, amazing, all kinds of things. She will be here, so don't miss that. Deep gratitude to the people that helped us move. I was at home. I was not lifting boxes, but it's in the newsletter. Marlene and Regina have been working in the office going through things. Reverend Paul started last week or putting things in his truck and taking them to storage. And then several people showed up yesterday and others volunteered for next week, but you don't have to because it looks like it's mostly done. So I'm just deeply grateful for the community for that. We have our annual meeting is after service today. We're trying to be a little shorter, so it looks like we'll be starting just a little bit before 11. You are encouraged to stay. You're welcome to stay, whether you're currently a member or not. I want to tell you again, our YouTube channel is Center for Conscious Living NJ, but there's a link in the current newsletter that you can go right to Rick Moss's recordings from last week to do his clearings again, which I highly recommend, or go do individual work with him, whatever you're like and you move to. All right, is that it? Have I got men's group meet every third Monday? I have no idea. Well, that's coming up. That's tomorrow then. I don't know, Mike, did you want to say anything about that? Mike Severese?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we're meeting tomorrow night.
Thank you. And how do they do that? If one of the men is new and has not been to the men's group, how would they connect?
They have to email me or Marlene at the office, and she'll forward it to me. And then I'll send them a link.
Perfectly wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Wonderful things. Okay. I think it's time for a concluding song from the wonderful Lew Doty, who is definitely on Zoom again.
I am here. All right, time for the CCL National Anthem. God is all there is. All there is God. Raise a voice in devotion. All there is God. God is all there is. Love is all there is. All there is love. Raise my arms, I adore you. All there is love. Love is all there is. All I need is God. God is all I need. Raise a voice in devotion. Raise my arms, I adore you. Give my life, I surrender. All I need is God. God is all there is. God is all there is.
Not only a national anthem and not only beautiful, but also true. Thank you, Lew, very much. As Kathy steps forward to do our concluding affirmation, I will leave the mics open at the end for you to say hello and things to people for a few minutes, and then we'll mute everybody and go right into our annual meeting. So you're welcome to stay. We'd love to have you. but that's the way we'll do it.
Okay, if everyone could repeat after me, it's in the chat. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my body. Life is in my mind. Life is in my feelings. Life is in all my activities. I receive it. I share it. I am it, and I accept it just the way that it is. Thank you, life. And accepting all of these gifts, we say yes.
Yes, yes,
Woo!
yes. Thank
Hey,
you.
everybody.
Thank you. Blessings. Blessings and love, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Have a great week.
Thank you, Lynn. Hey, Hope.
Thank you.
Unmuted now.
Hey, Cassandra.
Hey, Deb. Hey, Sarah and Tim. Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Kathy.
Hey.
Hi,
Welcome.
Kathy.
Hey, everyone.
Beautiful faces.
Hi, Joanne
Hi,
Delvecchio.
Bonnie.
We missed you last night.
Yes.
Hi,
Hey,
Sharon.
Sarah. Hi.
Virgie. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Bobby.
I saw Katura earlier. Is
Hey,
Katura here?
Peggy.
Debbie.
Hi, June.
Hey, Peggy.
Jane.
Dad, how you doing?
Marty. Hi, Joanne.
Deb. Hey, Sue. Hi, Reverend Sue. Martha. Hey, Michael.
Morning.
You still there, Michael? Oh, Reverend Al. Hello.
Hey, Bert.
You want to video one?
I'm
So many
Reverend
people,
Al.
so little time.
Bobby.
Still a thing around.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, Marty. Hey, Stephen.
Hi, Brian. Nice to see you.
Hi, Ann.
Beautiful music, Lou.
Now, thanks for going through that for us, Lou. I
Thank you.
Hey, Mike. Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Trout. Trout.
Hi,
Trout on signal.
Hi, Joanne.
Hey,
Ellen.
Cat was
Hi, Juanita. Hi, Reggie.
Hey, Lisa.
Norman as well.
Hi, Lisa Minor.
Bonnie.
Hi, Cassandra.
Hey, Patricia.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Faye.
Patricia Angel. At the right place at the right time.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
What a miracle. That was
Yeah.
a miracle storm. Eyes.
Surrounded by angels. You're all angels.
This was such an inspiring service. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you for helping me.
That was in Prague with us when we went to see Bonte, Reverend Carol.
Say it now.
I'm sorry.
Katanea was in Prague with us when we went to see Bonte.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
She
Yeah.
was.
it
She was.
good.
And so was Lynn.
And so it was
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes, I
It
remember.
was wonderful.
It was
Hello,
good.
everybody. Blessings to everybody.
Hello.
Hey, Joyce.
Hi.
There's Sarah.
Good to see you, Joyce.
And
This is
Amy.
usually our coffee hour.
All right.
Ready
Why
for some
don't-
tea.
Why don't, take a quick break, get a cup of coffee or a cuppa or whatever one does. And we'll see you. I'm not going to shut the meeting off, but I will
Take a little break.